Hey, how's it going? I really don't know what I'm doing or who to contact or anything like this. Whether to shave my beard. Okay. Um, Rod Stewart, David Beckham, and the British. I really fit in there. And I basically like all religions. I like philosophy and understanding it, the quantification and the perfection, actually. Um, so I don't really have anything like that, but I just get sort of nervous if people don't respond directly and specifically, and because I'm really, I point out these phenomenal things, and people don't automatically care. I freak out big time. I think, oh, these people must, they don't exist, or there's, whoever it is, the people in the media, which is not really my thing. And certainly law enforcement, you see that George Washington has trouble with the law. Okay, when he's young, it's um, with the foreign element, indeed. Okay, he might be slightly French himself, but the French are not looking for any um, qualified cooperation in the overall colonial operations. It's maybe these hints, which are sprinkled with spice trade narcotics, basically, um, the the economies of tobacco, etc. Um, and positively, okay, I bring this up because I know that people are vulnerable, and it's because I'm vulnerable. Um, Growing up near San Francisco is rather traumatic because there is some lewd elements out there. Okay, it's not just the military's blue badge, which is way before my time, anyways. But whatever it is, okay, the bottom feeders of any um, creed or color or whatever it is, um, and how one bad apple spoils the whole bunch. That is for sure. Um, and I would not have gone outside, especially not by myself, not without a better half. I just wouldn't have done it. It wasn't possible. I'm telling you, this me and George Washington. It's actually worse for me um, because there's education is in books are omnipresent in our modern age, um, but it's the the urchin, whatever it is, the dangerous person, the crazy and overly intoxicated person, um, whatever, the predator, the extreme foreigner, which didn't exist back then, um, in the global sense that it does now. Um, and look, I just want to be able to work with cool people, and especially if there's a woman who will, I can live with, who's awesome. Um, um, and certainly all those other guys. I especially get along with the British. That is just true. I certainly love the French and the Germans and the Irish for sure. Okay, any question of that? Okay, I'll. Mm. um, and I would have gone to the kibbutz if there was a woman to go with me. Going to the Middle East. Okay, it's they people like talk about the urchins. Okay, I don't want to talk about that because they definitely live in Germany and France and England and everywhere else. Um, um, Unqualified people, uh, dangerous people. whacked out on drugs people, okay, illegal drugs indeed. There are some that are, have medical purposes, therapeutic purposes, spiritual purposes. This is what Lenny Kravitz says, I'm depressed. And you can see he's actually physically um, as stoked as Tom Cruise or Arnold Schwarzenegger. Lenny Kravitz is about as physically fit as those guys. Okay, that is clear to me, and that's just pot, right? As far as I know. And I don't want to get into some insane conversation. I just want to be with people who care. Okay, I'm like a scientist and potential artist or performer. That's why the persuasion is why everything is happening. I don't really understand it because I don't have any education outside of the Wild West, and California was scarcely anything good, very scarcely. And so I came over here just blindly, just trying to escape from that overall California sunshine, fool's gold, excuse reality. Okay, and I'm frozen. Okay, I tried to contact people in big tech and they would not respond. Google and all these guys. And I wish that they would, okay? I just wish, and I wish that I had a script because I'm making stuff up and I wouldn't be doing that if, okay, and that's going back a long ways, and it's not something that you can broadcast like propaganda. You can't expect that to reach an individual with respect if you're broadcasting it publicly. It's okay. It's just if you see all the indicators, you might eventually lose your cool, thinking this is just sheer paparazzi propaganda projected specifically at me, but they won't say my name, okay, and they won't provide the invitation with the indication, okay, the intervention. That's what I wish that I had. Okay, I don't want to be some weapon. Okay, and it's insane to even think like that. Okay, it's that's not. I didn't invent narcotics. This is an invention that was projected at me on my based based on drug manufacturers. That's all that it is. Mariani, marijuana, morphine, whatever it is. And deranged people would think, oh, that's cute. Let's be reckless with intelligent people. I just want to be with other intelligent people. Okay. All right. You guys can. That was the concept in 1979, 1980 that someone was going to take a picture of our house, and they're going to say, "Oh, our house is just as awesome. Come live over here. We live next to John Lennon," or something like that, and Elvis. And it wouldn't be some paparazzi propaganda scandal. It would just be, with John Lennon, indeed. Okay. um, or Michael Jackson, and the drugs and um, the concern. It's just John Lennon and uh, the Soviet Union's Lenin, some stupid thing. And so I contacted NPR and the BBC to try and get uh, awareness so that the people who really care could automatically contact me, because that's what's required. People who truly care. And again, if there is a woman who, especially because I am very lonely, and well, I've always had, I've always got along with classy, intelligent gay people. Um, I don't go out of my way looking for that. Okay, it's not that would be um, okay. I um, but if I want to be with intelligent, classy people, and that's so important. And and I'm this phone I cannot stand if I don't like hold the thing constantly. My God, I have to contort this the stupidest phone ever. Um, a homeless phone is what it is. You're wandering around like zombies with their phones. Um, okay, it's got a camera. My God, why not just make porn the whole time? Why not be a paparazzi like nutcase? Okay, and again, all the big tech, because they're very concerned. I feel very qualified. I want to write storylines. I want to help our allies in the world, to help philosophically secure what the experts all acknowledge. Okay, without any games. That's not. Um, okay, if there's something very intelligent and we can together respectfully and privately laugh about it, that's great. I don't want to be some fool. Um, I'm constantly affronted by these lone wolf derelicts, okay, these creeps, these really sort of criminalistic people who I want nothing to do with those people. Okay, they move next to me. This is okay. I'll point out my neighbor Dominic growing up. He was a child criminal prisoner. He spent 2 years in jail and when he was 15 years old. He was very colorful. Lots of car crashes, lots of fatal drunk drivings, etc. Whether he was driving or just in the vehicle. When I was there, nothing ever happened. We drove around like loads, lots of times. And he would have definitely looked after George Michaels. All those people who say they care, that's the one guy who would have protected George Michaels for sure. And I would have been stoked to see that, because Dominic was a friend. And I care about friends. And I just do that automatically. But he would say crazy stuff sometimes. So I tried to avoid that online. I didn't want to make a scandal. I didn't want to make a scandal. I was afraid to do that. I don't identify as gay, but I've had really good gay friends, and it's not a problem. As soon as it becomes like a thing, okay, I just want big tech to say, oh, we're sorry, come with us, please. Okay. And again, if there's, a highly qualified woman who wants me to work with, to do some acting and stuff, I would love to do that. Okay, I really would. But I'm embarrassed and I'm very confused, and I don't really know what I'm doing. Every time I click like on something, it goes like it just disappears, and what's the point of this? What is the? I don't know. I was using the scientific method to solve everything. So I could not do anything without that. It was literally required because I was profoundly confused, and I had to come to Europe. I could not think about any of this stuff in America. There's a lot of um, ratty narcissism, and mm, even here, I've talked to very few people. I talk to almost, if I have a really good acquaintance and someone who is a secure person, I might tell them some about it, but I quickly realized their disbelief, and then I pursue engineering stuff to let the philosophical science settle, so that I can quantify it. It takes heavy duty thinking. It's really emotionally bearing, because this is my childhood. I couldn't find love in California, and Kurt Cobain found love, and it was like a junkie, exactly. Um, um, and very, unhealthy overall sort of identity, public identity. Okay, um, privately, having good friends, I really prize that, but I don't want to have some endless scandal and they're pushing my buttons every which way I go. Someone's trying to derail everything, and I despise that. Those are militant mentalities, left and right, um, and especially if there's an election coming up. I despise that. There wouldn't If George Washington had a happy home, there would not be American politics like that. There wouldn't be. We would be loyal to our ancestral uh, prosperity and peace. We would. Okay? It's only because George Washington didn't have a happy home, a safe place to be with sincerely concerned people. He had to stay there on a plantation instead of developing the technology which could make the whole world safe and prosperous, peaceful. Absolutely could. The new economies, not dwelling on um, propaganda and narcotics or tobacco or whatever it is, uh, reckless fuel consumption. People thinking, oh, I will make my money selling drugs, so people and cheap energy, so people can just be psychopaths. Okay, instead of perfecting the world. I have that plan. I really do. I've quantified the whole thing. You guys can contact me, NPR, the BBC, RTE, the European Union. Okay, I am the super scientist. I will completely deny my Wild West identity, while I will also help do characters of every ethnicity in the global South and the Wild West. I will do that, but if you make a scandal out of it, it's very threatening. Okay, ask my friend Dominic anything completely crazy, and you'll see how threatening it could be. Okay, even though we were friends and nothing bad ever happened when I was there, it was still really sometimes a hopeless situation. Okay, the really the ultimate responsibility that George Washington needs, that Thomas Jefferson doesn't need. Okay, doesn't need to. Okay, he should have been in the Wild West for sure. And okay, and that's it's very complex because there's multiple axioms of articulation, and it's just stupid. Okay, if people don't respond directly and urgently. I don't have a script. I wish I did. I would like to read that. I don't want to respond to anything that I hear on the radio. It goes back before any sort of good intentions started paving the way to sheer anxiety. Okay, Sunset Magazine said, look, that you can tell by looking at people, generally speaking, if they're intelligent or not. To a large degree, you can do that. It's usually the person, just a photograph might be a little elusive, but the person taking the photograph usually has much more of a concept of that. And that's why those photographs are published. Okay, please contact me. I really want to help the media, Hollywood, and technology. I want to help them, okay?